Good morning, this is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line again, already
Alright.
sworn in.
And I think we're gonna put the headphones on him today. Yes.
Okay, I will give it a try, Your Honor.
All right, Madam Interpreter, you connected to the headphones?
Sí,
Okay.
ok.
You can hear the interpreter,
Alright.
Your Honor.
Your name, sir?
Elmer Ramírez. Elmer Ramírez.
Elmer Ramirez.
You are here in 2020 CF 11956, one count of battery by strangulation domestic, one count of aggravated assault domestic, one count of tampering with a witness, and one count of battery. Sir, were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney to represent you?
Sí.
I do not get
Sí, por
it.
favor.
Oh, okay.
Usually on the weekends we don't.
Sí. Defensor público.
Public defender.
All right. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause. Any contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state with regards to release?
State would ask for no contact, separate residences, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Sí.
Your Honor, we just ask that you allow him to return one time with law enforcement and set monetary bond.
All right. I'll set count one at $1,500, count two at $150, count three at $150, count four at $100. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence.
Okay.
Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings. Where do you want me to put these? Just like that? All right.
Ok.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
Juan José Martínez. Juan José Martínez.
Juan
You're-
Jose Martinez.
You are here in case number 2020 MM 7196, one count of battery domestic. I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. Any contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
State would ask for no contact, separate residences.
Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, we ask that he may return with law enforcement to gather any belongings and set monetary bond.
I'll set his bond at $500. No contact with the alleged victim. No return to the scene. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You can return once with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings. Thank you.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Your name, sir?
Johnny González Varillas. Johnny González Varillas.
Your Honor, the interpreter's having a hard time hearing him. If we could get that podium microphone
Can we
closer
move the
to him.
one? No, that one, yeah, turn it away.
Johnny González Varillas.
The one on the desk,
Johnny
turn it
Gonzalez
away.
Marias.
There we go, thank you.
Johnny Gonzalez Marias.
All right, you are here in 20 CF 8640, one count of violation of conditional release. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. Do you have a lawyer appointed on your case already?
I'm checking
Huh?
now. I'm checking now.
I have a private attorney.
Okay. Is your lawyer's name,
Kathy Potter.
who is it?
Sean Lander.
Sean Landers?
Yo creo sí.
I believe so.
All right. Call Mr. Landers and let him know that you're in jail so he can work on getting you out of jail.
Sí.
All right, thank you.
No, supuestamente él comenzó a trabajar el viernes con el caso. Supuestamente él comenzó a trabajar el viernes con el caso.
Apparently, he started to work on the case on Friday.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay.
The bond was paid tonight.
Yeah.
I feel
Felony
it's,
judge?
Yeah, I feel it's on
Okay. Can't wait.
the one that we asked.
Yeah. Okay. Your name, sir?
Israel Melendez. Israel Melendez.
Israel Melendez.
All right, sir, you are here in case number 20 CF 782AO. It's 3 failure to appears on a possession of controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia. According to this warrant, you failed to appear for a status hearing on August 5th. Your bond on count 1 is set at $2,000. Count 2 is $300, and count 3 is $1,000. You're also here on a new law offense in 2020 CF 11960, introduction of contraband into a detention facility, possession of cocaine, and 3 counts of possession of fentanyl. I'll set your bond on count 1 at $500, count 2 at $150, count 3 at $150, and I'll R you on counts 4 and 5. Thank you. Your name, sir?
Ricardo Suarez. Ricardo Suarez.
You need to move the
Ricardo Suarez.
microphone on the other
You are
side.
here in case number 20MM7192AO, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia. I've reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. I'll set your bond at $100. Is there an offer in this case?
Your Honor, state would just agree to ROR in this case.
Okay. We'll go ahead and ROR you. Is there an offer in this case?
Your Honor, I believe this would be eligible for the state's
Okay.
drug diversion program.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, Douglas Berdeas is medical.
Okay. And that's our last Spanish, Verdeas?
Yes.
All right. So I don't get in too much trouble, what do I do out of county warrant? Just waive his appearance and point the PD and let him get started?
Yeah.
All right. And that's our last Spanish case?
Yes.
All right. Do we know if there's any alleged victims that need an interpreter?
They didn't inform me.
He's not
Are they in the courtroom here? Would
Right.
you like me to ask?
They can't hear you outside. I guess apparently the speakers aren't working out there.
Okay.
All right, well, they're trying to figure that out. Douglas Barados has an out-of-county warrant out of Brevard County, or Broward. Broward County, it's $1,000. I'll appoint the PD. Even if there's a bond on it, I appoint the PD? Okay. I'll appoint the PD on that case. Okay. All right. All right, Madam Interpreter, there are no victims that say they need the interpreter, so we're all done.
Thank you, Ernie. Have a great day.
You too, bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, and then, sir, your name?
Timothy Carlos, sir.
What happened to Sean Ambro?
Mental health.
All right, we'll waive his appearance. Ambro, 20 CF 11932 AO, appoint the public defender. And what is he on, a felony?
Yeah.
All right. Ambro will stay as bonds. All right, how about Keith Brooks?
He refused.
All right. We'll waive his appearance, appoint the PD out on bond on a battery and a petty theft in 20 MM 6833 AO, or award on a trespass on property other than a structure, 20 MM 4759 AO, here today on abuse of an elderly or disabled adult, 20 CF 11938 AO. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, set his bond at $1,000 on that case, and I'll revoke his release on the two other cases. Let the judge assigned to those cases determine what a reasonable bond is for him. And then Timothy Carlo, that's you, sir?
Yes, me, sir.
Okay. All right. Mr. Carlo, you were here in 20 CF 11926 AO on one count of sexual assault by a 24-year-old with a victim between the ages of 16 and 17 years of age. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. You're also here in 2020 MM 496 AO, contributing to the delinquency of a minor. That is the same affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. State on the new case, any input with regards to release?
State would ask for no contact any individuals under the age of 18.
All right, any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
So is he on felony probation right now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
Is
yes.
there a hold for that?
He has a VFOSD hold,
Okay.
so he's got a 5-day
Okay.
probation hold.
All right, set your bond on count one at $20,000 and on the misdemeanor at $100. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, and do not have any contact, any unsupervised contact with anyone under the age of 18. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank Holy Spirit. How many charges I have?
All right, your name, sir?
Dennis Walker, sir.
All right, so you're out on bond on a driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge, 20 CT 2730 AO. You're here today in 20 CF 11930 AO, petty theft with 2 priors and a trespass. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender.
And Your Honor, that FAD was entered in error.
On
It
the
was
last
a-
gentleman?
No, this gentleman here.
Oh,
That's
okay.
CT. It was a notice to appear CT case. They shouldn't have
Okay.
put a FAD in.
All right, I was gonna take no action
Okay.
on it anyways, because we did have a return date, okay. On the new case, I'll stay your bonds at 1,100. No contact with Alicia Knight, okay?
No contact with Alicia Knight?
Yes.
Why is that?
Do you know who Alicia Knight is?
Why is it no contact with her?
Because you're co-defendants.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right, your name?
Elderly Dormo.
All right, sir, 20 MM 6048 AO, you're here on 2 violations of pretrial release. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond as to each one of those. Does he have the public defender on these cases?
He does.
All right.
You have 1 or 2 cases? I only have 1.
I just have the one.
Okay.
Two counts, I guess. The public defender has previously been appointed to represent him.
Yes, Your Honor. We would ask for ROR on this case.
It looks like he violated his mental health pretrial release on these cases. And so the judge assigned to these cases issued a warrant at no bond. So I think they might have to go see Judge, I think it was Jewett. Was Judge
No, I
Jewett that signed
believe, oh,
It is.
I believe it's Bain, Judge Bain.
it? Judge Jewett.
Judge Jewett?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's Judge Jewett's signature that's on it. So I don't,
Okay.
it's not like as though Bain covered for it. But yeah, he was on MHPTR. So you just have to go see Judge Jewett and he could probably get you out of here.
Who's Judge Jewett?
He's your judge.
When am I gonna see him?
Hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah. Probably Hunter will be in touch with you this week.
All right, so your name?
Trey Sean Jones.
All right, 20 CF 11927, one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, one count of possession of methamphetamine, one count of petty theft of $100 or more, one count of trespass in a dwelling. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Y'all got a private attorney?
Who's your lawyer?
I don't got one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you have one. So do you want the public defender or do you want to hire a private attorney?
Private attorney.
Okay. All right. So,
I'm right here.
sir, the purpose of today's hearing is to determine conditions of your release. All right. Right now, you're on a no bond status, which means you don't have an ability to get out of jail. We can have this hearing today where I can give you a bond so that you can get out of jail. Or if you'd like, I can roll this to tomorrow morning, give you 24 hours to hire a private attorney. You can come back with your attorney and we can have this hearing tomorrow morning. Do you want to go forward today without your lawyer or do you want me to continue this to tomorrow? Give you time to get a lawyer and you can come back with a lawyer.
Today.
You want to go today without a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Any input from the state?
Defer to the court, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so the state has asked me to use my discretion to set a bond on your case without a bond. Understand that as a defendant, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Okay.
So I don't want you to talk about the facts of the case. Is there anything that you want to tell me that you think I should consider in determining your release, or do you want to exercise your right to remain silent?
I just mean any possible because like the last time that the defendant that I had, you know what I'm saying, I had no contact or anything. I
Right.
had a, you know what I'm saying, a signature bond. You know, I ain't did anything wrong or, you know.
Okay. All right. I'll set your bond at $1,500 on count 1, $150 on count 2, $100 on 3, $100 on 4. No contact with the alleged victim. That means even through your friends or your family members. Do not return to the scene. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Do you have any questions, sir?
Yes, how much all that count? Like you said, the
bond?
How much,
It's $1,500, $150, $100, $100. So it's $1,850.
1,800?
Yeah, $1,850.
With 10%?
Well, 10% of that would be, I mean, you're probably looking at a couple $100 to get out.
Like 200?
I forget exactly how the bail bondsman does it with all the subsidiaries, but yeah, a couple $100.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Thank you. Your name?
Jack Rodriguez.
All right, sir, you were here in 20 CF 11928AO, one count of aggravated battery, domestic. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney to represent you?
I'm fine with the public defender until I can afford an attorney.
All right, I'll go ahead, I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. I'll review the affidavit, found probable cause. Any input, any contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
They would ask for no contact, separate residences, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, we ask that he be allowed to return one time with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings and for monetary bond.
All right.
And he does qualify for PTR, Your Honor.
Yeah, with the felony and the no victim input, I'm not inclined. I'll set his bond at $1,000. No contact with the alleged victim. No return to the scene. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Do you understand, sir? You can return once with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings. All right, your name, sir? Oh, no, yeah. Your name?
Orlando Rodriguez
All right.
Otero.
20 CF 11958, one count of battery on a person 65 years of age or older. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney to represent you?
Ask me that.
Yeah, but I need to.
We're
explain
talking.
myself clearly.
You and I.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Ask me again, please, sir.
All right. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire a private attorney, or you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
Qualified power defender.
Public defender. All right. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. Any contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
For the court, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, we ask that he be allowed to return one time with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings and for monetary bond.
All right. I'll set his bond at $1,500. No contact with the alleged victim. No return to the scene. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You can return once with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings. Okay?
All
All
right.
right. Thank you. Your name, sir?
My name,
Yes.
Jameson Jerome Harris.
All right, sir. You're here on a few out-of-county warrants out of St. Lucie County.
And I'm not, can I say one thing, please?
I'll give you an opportunity. Hold on real quick for me, and then you can tell me whatever you want. According to this, your bonds are set at 150 on count 1, battery, 1,500 on count 2, criminal mischief, and 15,000 on count 3, tampering with a witness, victim, or information.
I'm not the,
I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Talk to her real quick, and then if she thinks you should talk to me, then you're more than welcome to.
I'm from this county.
Okay.
They pulled up a picture, this is the second time this happened to me.
Okay.
And they pulled up a picture of a whole nother man.
Okay.
And they not me.
It says no bond till IAs, and then
All right.
it says to
Okay,
send
all
that.
right. Well, public defender's clear.
Right, am I
I
reading that?
understand. I understand.
Tell them I'm wrong.
Okay.
I will not be offended.
So you have to.
So it's 1,500 count one.
I thought count 2 was.
So I have to, can I talk to the judge?
No, he can't do anything. He's not a judge.
Count 1. Oh, you're right. 15,000.
But I'm not the right guy. Y'all got the wrong
I did get that one
person.
wrong.
I understand.
All right.
That's not my name.
I understand. You can't do anything on that today.
But that's not, I'm not the guy that they looking for. My name is Jameson Jerome Harris. This is James Emmanuel Harris, and got 2 different social securities. I'm not the right guy.
I understand.
Sir, I've, here, you want the, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is count 1's actually 15,000, not 150. The good news is I've appointed a lawyer to represent you that's gonna work on this for you, okay?
But can y'all run my name, my database, and see that I'm not this guy?
Did we run them?
Y'all got my name and everything wrong.
Declared, Your Honor.
Yeah. Yeah, we ran it and it says it's you.
No, it's not. This is James Emmanuel Harris.
I understand, sir, but whatever they use to verify that you're the person, they are confident that you are the right person. I have appointed a lawyer to represent
So
you.
when will be my next court date?
That I don't know because it's in St. Lucie
So how
County.
much is my bond?
$31,500.
So how much will I need to get out?
Talk to your lawyer, okay?
So is I'm getting expedited to St. Lucie?
No. All right, ma'am, your name?
Michelle Fernandez.
All right, ma'am, you are here in 20mm 7182AO, one kind of battery, domestic violence. Is Aaron Gordon here inside as well, or no? Yeah, I think that. Let me take a look.
They were listed as co-defendants, Your Honor, so.
Did Gordon get arrested too?
Yes, they're.
So is
they're
she here?
both here.
Yeah, they're co-defendants and, or co-combatants.
Gordon, Your Honor?
Yeah. I think it's, it looks like it's a mutual, well, not, I mean, who knows if it's mutual or not, but it's.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And they both qualify for PTR, Your Honor.
They both do?
Both of them do,
All right,
yeah.
thank you. Can I see the rest of the stack, madam?
Oh, sorry.
I'll just take the whole thing. I got it.
I was pulling it out.
I don't, I can do it. All right. What's your name in the back? Kenesha Davis. Let's do her while we're waiting for the other individual. All right, ma'am, you're here in 20 CF 11940 AO, battery by strangulation, domestic, and one kind of battery, domestic. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
State would ask for no contact, separate residences, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, we just ask that she be allowed to return one time with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings.
All right.
And she does qualify for PTR.
All right. All right. I'll go ahead. I'll give you a pretrial release unless you want some monetary bond. Do you want to pay money or you want to be released and be monitored similar to probation?
Wait, what?
So you can have PTR, which is at least you don't have to
Her bond would be 1,000 and 100.
So I could, it's not probation or anything.
It's not actually pretty, but if you violate PTR, you get something to it's not actually probation. You just have to call and be supervised similar to probation. But you don't have to.
Jeez, I don't know. I guess, yes. How long is this?
All right, I'll give you the option. You can make a choice when you decide that you want to get out of jail. So I'll give you PTR or 1,000 on count 1, 100 on count 2, and you can choose whenever you want to get out. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay?
Wait, can I don't, it's my house. I don't know what's going on. Like, it's my house. And he doesn't reside with me. It's my
without?
house, my lease.
So I'll just say two things. One, without the alleged victim here to tell me that, I don't know that answer.
I can
So
provide the lease, a copy of my lease.
if you want to let me finish, I can
I'm
finish
sorry,
for you
go
and
ahead.
help you.
Yes,
You want to do that or you want to keep talking?
No, sir, I'm listening. I've never been through this before, so I don't know what to do.
Let me know when I'm free to talk.
Please continue.
Okay. You can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement. If they decide that the other person doesn't live there, then you can stay. All right? Thank you. Have we dug up the other individual? All right. All right, starting on my left, what's your name, ma'am?
Michelle Fernandez.
All right, and then your name, ma'am?
Aaron Gordon.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Fernandez, you're here in 20MM 7182AO on one count of battery domestic violence. And Ms. Gordon, you are here on 2020MM 7181AO, one count of battery domestic violence. All right, so you're both here as defendants and you're both here as alleged victims. Ms. Fernandez, according to your financial affidavit, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender, which means I cannot appoint a lawyer to represent you. All right? Ms. Gordon, I am going to appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. Ms. Fernandez, understand that as a defendant, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. All right, the purpose of today's hearing is to determine bond and conditions of release, all right? So, Ms. Gordon, as a defendant, you also have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you, okay? So I'm gonna ask you a few questions. You can either answer them or you can remain silent. It's up to you. It doesn't make a difference to me. All right? Do you guys live together?
We do not.
Okay. Do you want to have contact with her?
Yes, I would like that.
Are you in fear for your safety?
I am not, no, sir.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
There have been incidences, yes, but, you know, I've never been in fear for my safety.
Okay. All right.
We've
State-
gotten to, you know, arguments and things like that.
Sure. State, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Fernandez, you're the alleged victim in her case. As the alleged victim, is there anything that you want to tell me? Okay. And you don't have to answer these questions. You can just say no. Do you guys live together? All right.
No.
All right. Do you want to have contact with her?
Yes.
Okay. Are you in fear for your safety? Has anything like this ever happened before?
Just misunderstandings.
Okay. All right. State, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for her?
Your Honor.
Okay. Any input on either case, State?
State would ask for no hostile contact, separate residences.
Any input from the defense on either case?
Your Honor, I believe the one that the public defenders appointed on at least qualifies for PTR.
Did this happen at one of your houses?
Mine, my
Your
residence.
house? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me see here. Gordon, they both qualify for PTR.
They both do, yeah.
All right. You guys want to pay money to get out of jail, or you want it? No money. Okay. No money. Okay. All right. Ms. Fernandez, I'll give you pretrial release. No hostile contact with the alleged victim. No hostile contact means no physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. You do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. No return to the scene. Ms. Gordon, I'll give you pretrial release. No hostile contact with the alleged victim. That means no physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Only one of them got did not return.
The first one got a not return because it was at the other one's house. Yeah.
So did you want me to set maintain or separate?
Yes, please. Thank you. They said they didn't live together, but you're right. You need it. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Officer Gilly, make sure we got the same. I checked maintain separate residence on both of those cases.
Okay. They just
Separate
have
residences?
Okay.
Separate residence. All right, your name, sir?
Ricardo Nieves.
You can come up to the podium. What happened to Charles Ferguson?
Mental health.
All right. Is there anybody here for Charles Ferguson? You're here for Charles Ferguson? What's your name?
Ricardo Enrique Nieves.
Are you here for Ricardo?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anybody here for Charles Ferguson? Any contact on Charles Ferguson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 2020 CF 11951, I'll appoint the public defender. Any input from the state? Found probable cause?
I'm sorry.
This is on Ferguson.
Yes.
Any input?
Defer to the court, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set count 1 at 2,500, count 2 at 100. No contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. All right, and then your name again, sir?
Ricardo Nieves.
All right, so what happened to Forkton Hall?
Also mental health.
All right, we'll waive his appearance, 20 CF 11952AO, robbery, count 1, aggravated assault, domestic. Anybody here on Hall? Also out on bond on a petty theft, 20 MM 4742AO. Any input from the state?
Defer to the court, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense? Point of the PD, found probable cause on Hall.
Yes.
What's your input?
I don't have any, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Count 1, I'll set at $4,000. Count 2 at $150. No contact with the alleged victim. No return to the scene. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. And I'll take no action on the case that he's out on pretrial release. It doesn't look like the state's filed on it. All right, this brings us to you, Sir Ricardo Nieves. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. 2020 CF 11954AO, 1 count of false imprisonment, 1 count of battery, domestic violence. I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause. And then your name, ma'am?
Evelyn Correa.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? You swear to tell your other hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, and then you can put your hand down. You're Evelyn Correa?
Yeah,
All right, ma'am, is there anything that you want to tell me with regards to this incident?
we just arguing and fighting in the house. Just
If you
arguing.
could take that microphone and lift it up, because we can barely hear you. There we go.
We was just arguing in the house, and he break stuff, and the neighbor called the police.
Do you guys live together?
Yes,
Do you want him to come home?
yes,
Are you in fear for your safety?
no.
All right, State, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
He's got some holds on. Any,
Nieves, no. And he,
oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at Hall. All
yeah, and
right.
he does qualify for PTR.
All right, any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can I inquire one question?
Yep.
Has anything like this ever happened between you two before?
Has this ever happened before?
Yes,
Okay.
How many times?
like 2 times.
Okay. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, any input based on those questions, or is the
Nothing
input the
further,
same?
Your Honor.
Anything from the defense?
No, Your Honor, just that he qualifies for PTR, so we would ask for that.
All right, we'll order a pretrial release. Ma'am, if anything like this ever happens again, would you call 911?
Yeah,
Okay. I'll order no hostile contact. No hostile contact means no physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your name, sir?
Not for you.
Your name?
David Cotant.
All right, sir. You're here in 20mm 7195AO one kind of battery. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause. Point the public defender. You're also here in 20 CF 11955, one count of kidnapping and one count of battery, both domestic. Reviewed those affidavits, found probable cause. Point the public defender. Any contact with the alleged victims?
Yes, Your Honor, but they were not planning to come to court.
Okay. Any input from the state?
Further the court, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, on the battery domestic, I'll set your bond at $100. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. And on the kidnapping domestic, I will set a bond in that case. I'll set your bond at $10,000 on that case on count 1, $100 on count 2. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Your name, sir?
Angel Skippings.
All right, 20 CF 11913AO, one count of aggravated battery domestic. Any contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause. Any input from the state?
They would ask for no contact, separate residences.
Any input from the defense? Oh, we do? Skippings? All right, ma'am, your name?
Alicia Sack.
I'm sorry?
Alicia Sack.
All right, ma'am, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Skippings is here on one count of aggravated battery domestic violence. You were listed as the victim in this case. Is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think the court should consider in determining conditions of his release?
You know, like when it happened, like he has schizophrenia and he hasn't been on his medication lately. So like when the incident happened, you know, like it was completely an accident. Like I know he didn't mean to hurt me at all. Like, you know, we were in the room and like when this stuff hit my head, like it was an accident. Like, you know, the police weren't supposed to be called or anything. I do want him to be released. I want him to get, you know, come home to me today. You know, I do love him. He loves me and like I care very much. And I just, you know, I was just hoping that you guys would just, you know.
Is he prescribed a medication?
He gets a shot.
Okay.
It's just the timing with the doctors, and like they keep losing doctors at the place we go, so they keep like replacing doctors, but then the appointment gets set back like a month.
Okay.
So like we're just waiting for the appointment at this point, and then we can get him back on the shot.
All right.
So.
Any questions from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions from the defense? Any input from the state?
Defer to the court, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
We just ask that he be allowed to return home, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set your bond at $1,500. No hostile contact with the alleged victim. No hostile contact means no verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. And you must take all your prescribed medication as prescribed. So you gotta go see the doctor, okay? Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your name, sir?
Randall Topsy.
All right, 20 CF 11957 AO, you're on one count of battery by strangulation domestic and one count of tampering of the witness to hinder communication to a law enforcement officer. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and then, ma'am, your name?
Samantha Tapsy.
I'm sorry?
Samantha Tapsy.
Okay. All right, ma'am, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, is there anything that you want to tell me? And if I get you just a little closer to that microphone, with the mask, it's just hard to hear.
We do have 3 kids, so the only concern I have is having him back in the house. I know they witnessed the first incident, and I'm concerned with them if something does happen a third time.
Do you want him to come back, or do you want him to maintain a separate residence?
A separate residence
Okay.
for now.
Do you want to have any kind of contact with him?
Yes, we need to have contact for the kids.
Okay. All right, State, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any input, State?
State would ask for no hostile contact, separate residences.
Any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor, just, I believe he qualifies for PTR.
He does. All right, we'll go ahead, we'll give him pretrial release. I'm gonna order no hostile contact, and the contact is limited to child care issues only. Maintain a separate residence. Do not return. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. He can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to get any kind of belongings while this temporary arrangement's occurring, okay? All right. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, your name?
Danielle Green.
All right, ma'am, you're here in 20 MM 718-6AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point to public defender. All right, and sir, your name? Your name, sir?
Jordan Castillo Veitia.
All right, sir, can you raise your right hand for me? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. You were listed as the alleged victim in this case. Is there anything that you want to tell me? Anything you think I should know?
No, I don't want to press any charges or anything.
Do you guys live together?
Yes.
Do you want her to come home?
Yes.
Are you in fear for your safety?
No.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
No.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions for him?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
Defer to the court, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
I believe she qualifies for PTR.
She does. All right. We'll give her pretrial release. No hostile contact with the alleged victim. No hostile contact means no verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay? All right, thank you. Thank you for being here, sir.
Am I allowed to be the one to pick her up?
Yeah, the only thing you guys can't do is fight. Whether it's a verbal fight or a Facebook fight, or I don't even know if kids are on Facebook these days, or a physical fight, okay?
And I guess like my last question is, the neighborhood we do live in has paper thin walls and just walking around can be noisy. if there was some kind of noise complaint and we were able to prove that it wasn't from like argument or something, how would we go about that?
I can't give you legal advice. I'm
Okay.
just the judge.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, ma'am, your name?
Kiana Hicks.
All right, 20MM 7184AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, any contact with the alleged victim.
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
We just ask that she at least, if they share a residence, she be allowed to return and grab any belongings, and she qualifies for PTR.
All right, we'll give her PTR. No return to the scene, maintain separate residence, no contact, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You can return once with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings, okay? Thank you. Your name, sir?
Alexander Panyagua.
All right, 20MM 7190AO, two counts of battery, domestic violence. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
I was going to represent myself for the first time.
All right. And then, ma'am, starting with on my right, your name?
Wendy Galva.
That's my left. That's all right. And your name?
Jennifer Jimenez.
All right. All right, if you could both raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. And whoever wants to go first, if you could stand in front of the microphone, is there anything that you want to tell me? Whoever. Doesn't matter. Anything you want to tell me? Anything you think I should know with regards to this incident?
No.
Okay. Do you guys live together?
Yes.
Yes? Do you want him to come home?
No.
Okay. Are you in fear for your safety?
Yes.
All right. State, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, ma'am, is there anything that you want to tell me?
I don't know this is
Can I
the
wait till
right
he's done?
time for
I'll wait till
this,
he's done.
but he can come home.
I need you to keep the mask on because other people are going to come into that room.
Great, thank you. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
He can come to the house, but he also needs
Okay.
to seek help for what did you say that? Anger management. He probably just needs some counseling for anger management, but until then, he cannot come to our place.
Are drugs or alcohol a problem?
I am not sure of that.
Okay. Say, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Any input?
I'll defer to the court, Your Honor.
All right. All right, sir. So as a defendant, understand that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. So I don't want you to talk about the facts of the case. Is there anything that you want to tell me, anything that you think I should consider in determining conditions of your release, or do you want to exercise your right to remain silent?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
So you're entitled to, if you want, to tell me anything you want me to consider while setting your bond. All right? But you also have a right to remain silent. And so you can either exercise that right to remain silent, or you can tell me anything you think I should consider. But understand that you're a defendant, so if you make some admissions, that could be used against you. So it puts you in a tough spot.
Okay. I'm going to talk.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, so the biggest problem I see with this paper is that the paper just says, or the affidavit, it just says that this was like the first incident, or like I reported the stuff missing on the same day. That's all I want to say. I've been reporting stuff missing for a while.
Okay.
Like a long time. That's all I want to say.
All right. I'll set your bond at 250 on count 1, 100 on count 2. No contact with the alleged victims, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence. You can return once with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings, okay?
I can't argue.
I just gave you your opportunity and you said that was all you wanted to say.
Nah, that's false. I never said that. But there's other stuff.
Okay.
I have
Alright, thank
pictures
you.
of stuff that's thrown out the window, but no one's hearing. So, not my fault.
Well, I heard you say that this is not get him out of here. Thank you for being here.
No PD appointed on that case, correct?
Huh?
No PD
No
appointed
PD.
on the case. Thank you.
No, he went by himself. All right, ma'am, your name? Your name?
Nicole Shelley.
All right, 2020 MM 851AW, you're on one count of battery domestic violence. Ma'am, according to your financial affidavit, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. The public defender is for individuals who are indigent and cannot afford a lawyer. The purpose of today's hearing is to determine conditions of your release and probable cause for arrest. Not in that order. You have a couple options. You can either go forward today without a lawyer and we can determine your release. You can continue this hearing to tomorrow morning.
No,
You
I
wanna
want
go
to get
today?
out, I prefer
Okay.
to
All right,
figure out
review
the
the
lawyer
affidavit,
later.
found probable cause. Your name, sir?
William Baroni.
All right, sir, can you raise your right hand for me? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there anything that you want to tell me with regards to this incident?
No, it just, it was a heated situation, just got out of control.
Do you guys live together?
Yes, sir.
Or do you want her to come home?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Are you in fear for your safety?
No.
All right. Has anything like this ever happened before?
Yes.
Okay. If something like this happens again, will you have any hesitation to call 911?
No.
All right. State, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Any input, State?
Say what you asked for no hostile contact.
And
Okay.
she does qualify for PTR.
All right, ma'am. Understand that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. But that being said, you also have a right to tell me anything you think I should know in determining conditions of your release. Is there anything that you want to tell me, or do you want to exercise your right to remain silent?
I just want to go home.
Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and give you pretrial release. No hostile contact with the alleged victim. No hostile contact means no physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you.
All right, sir, your name?
Faison Smith.
20 mm 7194AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Reviewed the affidavit. Found probable cause, point to public defender. Any contact with the alleged victim?
Yes, Your Honor, they said they plan to come to court.
I think we're out of people on
Yeah,
that, right?
I believe we are.
All right, any input from the state?
For the court, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense? All right, I'll set your bond at $500. No contact with the alleged victim. No return to the scene. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay?
I have a question.
Sure.
Our daughter just passed 2 months ago, and we're still in the process of trying to do the burial. How we got to come together for the tombstone, headstone? How would that go about?
So, because I don't have the victim here to tell me that they want to have any sort of communication or contact with you, I'm going to order no contact. I've also appointed you a lawyer. So any changes to this order can be done in front of the judge. It's actually assigned to this case. I'm just the guy that's here on the weekend with you. So I've appointed a lawyer. Your lawyer can file a motion and hopefully get that taken care of so that you can communicate for those issues.
All right, thank you.
Okay? All right, thank you. All right, ma'am, your name?
Shateri Thomas.
All right, 20 mm 7185AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point to the public defender. Any contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
I'll defer the court.
Any input from the defense?
I believe she qualifies for PTR.
She does. All right, I'll give you pretrial release. No contact with the alleged victim. No return to the scene. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Okay?
I have a question. Can I just get a bond instead of pretrial release, or
Sure. 500.
$500?
Yep. What do you want? Either one.
Okay, pretrial release. What is that? I didn't know.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Pretrial release is kind of like probation. You're monitored, so if you do something wrong, you get in trouble, then they'll let me know, and then we'll bring you back in. The bond, you just post the money and just nobody's watching you.
You mean like get in trouble, like as in I'm not gonna get in trouble? You mean like if I get like arrested again or something?
Yes.
Oh, okay, then that's fine.
No, like if you don't do your homework.
I know. Okay, I'll do
All right. So what do you want, the bond or the PTR?
that. I'll get the PTR.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
PTR. Straight PTR. All right, ma'am, your name? What is it?
Kaylee Boston.
What happened to Andre Baldwin?
Bonded.
Bonded. Good guy. All right, Ms. Bostic, you are here out on bond on a possession of cocaine, 20 CF 8625AO, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You're also out on bond at 20 CF 2218. 2 counts of failure to appear. You're also out on bond at 20 CF 5756, possession of controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, 2 counts. You're here today in 20 CF 11943 AO, possession of drug, possession of a controlled substance. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, set your bond at $1,000. And in 20 CF 8625, I'll take no action. 20 CF 2218, I'll take no action. And 20 CF 5756, I'll revoke your release. Let the judge sign of that case determine what a reasonable bond is for you. Thank you. Your name, sir?
Ricardo Brooks.
All right, so you're out on bond in 20 CF 7977 AO, 1 count of burglary of a structure. You're here today in 20 CF 11917 AO, attempted burglary of a structure and 1 count of criminal mischief greater than or equal to $1,000. I reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. You're also here in 2020 CT 6186, no valid driver's license. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. On the case that you're out on bond, I'll take no action. On your new case, attempted burglary of a structure, I'll stay your bond at $1,000. And count 1, count 2 will be $150. No contact with Renor Powell. And on your no valid driver's license, I'll set your bond at $100. All right, thank you. Your name, sir?
The no contact is the co-defendant?
Yeah, co-defendant. Your name?
Timothy Felder.
All right, sir. You're out on bond in 20 CT 3193 AO, driving while license suspended. You're here today in 20 CF 9672 AO. Possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia via probable cause order. According to this, count 1 is set at $1,000, count 2 $100. With conditions, do not possess, consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'll take no action on the case that you're out on bond. Appoint the public defender on your new case for you, okay? Your name, sir? Your name?
Vaughn Gene Haynes.
Haynes?
Yes, sir.
Yes? All right, 20 CF 11924 AO, possession of cocaine, trespass on property after warning. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney to represent you? I'm sorry?
Public defender.
All right, I'll go ahead. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. I'll set count 1 at $1,000. I'll stay at $1,000 and $100, okay?
The same thing, ain't it?
Your name, ma'am? Your name?
Kyra Johnson.
All right, 20 CF 11945 AO, possession of methamphetamine, grand theft, 3rd degree of a firearm. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay count 1 at $2,000 and count 2 I'll reduce to $200. Thank you. Your name?
Jacqueline Johnson Souley.
All right, ma'am, you are here in 20 CF 11935 AO, possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay your bonds at $1,000 and $100.
I believe she meets PTR.
Johnson Lane, she did not.
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
They won't let me out?
You bond, you can still get out.
Thank you so much.
Your name, sir?
E-Receipt, James Point II.
All right, sir, you're here in 20 CF 11931 AO, 1 count of trafficking in a controlled substance. You said LaPointe, right?
Yes, sir.
1 count of possession of alprazolam, 1 count of possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams, 1 count of possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, 1 count of tampering with physical evidence, 1 count of resisting officer without violence, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. I'm not inclined to give him PTR, but I will set his bond on count 1 at $20,000, so I'm going to reduce it by $80,000 for you. And I'll stay the additional counts, no contact with Cyrus Allen. Okay? All right. Yep.
You bond? No, I didn't think you did.
So no contact with Cyrus.
All right, thank you. Sir, your name?
Austin Mills.
What happened to Dion Martin?
Medical, Your Honor.
All right, temporarily appoint 2020 CF 11936 AO, possession of MDMA ecstasy. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause. Point the public defender is also here. You're on an open container, 2020 MO 1008 AO, Andy's ROR on possession of cocaine. On the new case, I'll set his bond at $1,000 on the MDMA, ROR on the open container, and take no action on the case that he's out on bond. All right, Austin Wells, that's you, sir?
No, Mills, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Mells.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry, yeah, that's
on
me.
me.
I just reversed an M and a W.
Forgive me.
You state the bond and
State it, yeah, and then oral argument on the open container.
Got it, okay. And no action on that one.
Yep. All right, so you have two cases. The first one is 20 CF 69880AO, failure to report as a registered offender via arrest warrant. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. And you're also here in 20 CF 2976AO, failure to appear on possession of controlled substance. According to that capias, your bond, you failed to appear for arraignment on July 9th of this year. Your bond is set at $1,500. I'll appoint the public defender on both your cases. And on your new case, I'll set your bond at $4,000, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Do you have reporting requirements?
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Can I just ask a question I didn't understand?
Yeah.
Because I know this is not the time, but the FTA one, it was due to the COVID. I had sent in a letter due to the judge
You have a
already.
public defender now, so you can get
So,
Okay,
here's the
understand.
deal.
out, okay?
All right.
I just wanted to make sure what it
Okay.
was.
That's what it is.
Thank you, sir.
Hold on. All right, yeah, that's what it is. Stay at 1,500, okay?
Thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you. All right, your name, sir?
Renoir Amari Powell.
All right, sir, you're out on bond in 20 CF 8525AO on a grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. You're here today in 20 CF 2228AO on a failure to appear on a possession of cocaine. According to that, you failed to appear for a status hearing on September 4th of this year. Your bond is set at no bond. On that, you're also here today in 20 CF 11918AO, attempted burglary, structure, and criminal mischief greater than or equal to 1,000. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender, and I'll stay your bond on count 1 at 1,000, count 2 at 150, and no contact with Ricardo Brooks. On the case that you're out on bond, I'll take no action. The state hasn't filed on it yet. All right.
Does that mean I'm still good on that?
Your name, ma'am?
Kimberly Pritchard.
All right, 20 CF 11942AO, larceny, petty theft, second offense, and possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay your bonds on each count, no contact with Kaylee Bostic, okay? Yes, co-defendant. All right, sir, your name?
Russell Sperlin.
What happened to Nicholas Worlds?
Bonded.
All right. All right, Russell Sperlin, that's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're out on bond in 20 CF 7252AO, possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia. You're here today in 20 MM 1478AO, failure to appear.
Correct.
Providing false ID to a law enforcement officer. According to that, you failed to appear for pretrial conference on September 2nd of this year. I'm the judge on that case. I previously set your bond at $2,000, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender.
Any action on the auto bond, Your Honor?
Let's see, no action on the add-on bond.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
Varvey, sir.
All right, you're out on bond on a violation of condition of pretrial release on a dating violence charge. 20 MM 5194AO. You're here today in 20 MM 6787 on a battery charge via arrest warrant. According to this warrant, your bond is set at $100 with conditions no contact with the alleged victim. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you September 14th. On the case that you're out on bond, I'll revoke your release. Let the judge assigned to that case determine what a reasonable bond is for you.
Okay, can I get a bond reduction on that?
It's $100.
It's $100, so I got a bond on both of them?
No. You have a bond on the new case of $100, and on the other case, it's no bond. Talk to Judge Cheek, Leon Cheek is your lawyer. Talk to him. He's a former judge. He's very good. He'll get you a bond on that case, okay?
Okay.
I'm not your lawyer. I can't.
All right, sir, your name?
David Money.
All right, sir, 20 CT 6184AO, one kind of driveway license suspended or revoked with knowledge. View the affidavit. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Public defender phone.
All right, I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. I'll set your bond excuse me, at $100. It looks like you got holds for Osceola County, 3 warrants out of Osceola County?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so even if you post your bond, they're just gonna serve you with those out-of-county holds for Osceola, okay?
How do I deal with the?
I'm sorry?
How do I deal with the warrants?
Well, once they serve them on you, if that's what they are, they'll bring you back here, I'll explain it to you, or whoever else is sitting in this chair will explain it to you, that'll probably be tomorrow. All right, because I don't know what they are yet. All right, sir, your name?
David Nottage.
All right, sir, 20 CT 6185AO, driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, I'll go ahead and ROR you.
That means you're releasing your substance.
I appreciate you so much. Have a nice day, guys.
All right, sir, your name?
Yes, your name.
Sir?
Yes, your name.
Leon Brown.
All right, thank you, sir. 20
Thank you, sir.
MM 7198. You're here on a count of trespass on property after warning, and 1 count of providing false identification to a law enforcement officer. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Public defender.
All right, I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. I'll stay your bonds at 500 and 100. Is this a pleable?
Yes.
Do you have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. Count 1 would be adjudication, court cost, credit time served. Count 2, withhold.
All right. Are you on probation? It looks like you were released from DOC on a manslaughter charge in 2016. Are you on probation for anything?
No, sir.
Okay. I just don't want you to resolve this case and have it violate that probation because you could have some significant consequences.
Yes, sir.
All right. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Yes, he would like to plead today, Your Honor.
All right. And what was it? Adjudication?
Count 1, adjudication, court cost, credit time served. Count 2, withhold.
Okay. All right, sir. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, and your name one more time. You put your hand down. Your name?
Leon Brown.
All right, and you heard what the attorney said. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Guilty or no contest? Accept your no contest plea. Count 1, adjudicate you guilty. Sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days. Your costs I'll reduce down to a judgment for you. Count 2 be a withhold, credit time served, and no further sanctions.
Yes, sir.
30 days to appeal. Good luck, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, your name?
Derek Curry.
All right, 2020 MM 7188AO, you're here on a battery charge. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point to the public defender. Does he want PTR or a bond?
Your Honor, I believe the offer on this is a withhold and credit for time served from the state attorney.
On a battery charge?
That's correct.
Okay.
I had contact with the victim this morning.
All right, what's he want? PTR, bond, or resolve?
Yes, if you plead, you want to.
Okay. Would I to be able to get today?
Yeah.
Okay. With bond or without?
You can do that, or if you want to consider it.
Can I try and resolve it today?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
You do the withhold,
Mhm.
credit for time served.
Does that mean I would have to stay here longer?
No, we're going to
Okay.
do it today.
Okay, then yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
He would like to plea, Your Honor.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, and your name?
Derek Curry.
All right. You heard what your attorney had to say. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. Do you understand?
Yes.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right. Accept your no contest plea, withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days. There is a mandatory $151 battery surcharge on this in court costs. How long do you need to pay all that? You're looking at $273, $373, $425.
Okay, yeah, can we do a monthly payment plan?
What can you afford to pay each month?
Like $100.
All right, I'll give you, how about 180 days to pay?
Okay.
That's 6 months, so,
I could talk to some family and probably pull something together.
well, that's longer than, because if you save $100 a month, that's only 5 months you need. All right, so I give you an extra month.
Thank you.
All right. Was there a no contact order?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, 30 days to appeal. Who is their candidate of choice?
Oh, are you talking about the affidavit?
Yes.
Well, it's a long story.
Is it
It's
the old
not
white
even
guy or
about
the other old
sides.
white
They were
guy?
just outside being loud, and it made me mad because all I hear is them yelling back and forth right outside my balcony and my windows. That's all that had happened.
You don't have to tell me. Good luck.
So,
All right, sir, in the back, your name?
thank you.
Michael Grimes.
All right, sir, 20MM 7189AO, one count of criminal mischief greater than 200, less than 1,000. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll set your bond at $250. State you have an offer in this case?
No, Your Honor, I believe there's restitution involved, and I could not get in contact with the victim.
All right, I cut your bond in half for you, all right? All right, thank you. Your name, ma'am?
Alicia Knight.
All right, you're out on bond in the 20MM 3485AO, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia here today in 20MM 7187AO. Trespass and petty theft, reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay your bonds at 500 and 100, and I'll revoke your release in your drug paraphernalia case, issue you a new bond of $500. All right, ma'am, in the back, your name? Or sir, your name?
Anthony Lewis.
All right, sir, you are here in, out on bond, 20MM 6567AO, trespass after warning and a conveyance. You're also here today in 20MM 7183AO, one kind of simple trespass. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause. I'll go ahead and appoint the public defender, and I'll set your bond at $250 on your new case. On your old case, I'll revoke your release on that case at a new bond of $1,000. State, do you have an offer in the new case?
I'm sorry, what was the bond on? I'm sorry.
$250. Do you have an offer?
Withhold court costs, credit time served.
All right.
Do you want to plead this?
New bond is 500, correct?
Well, that's up for debate now.
Okay. What was your question?
I'm dealing with that bill has two days. Remember, we died finished, but it was on one Saturday. Now we finished it. But we would have to go back on the record to redress that case.
Well, to tomorrow.
Okay, that's what I told them.
Are you? He wants to plead?
Yes.
All right, do you have the ability to raise your right hand? Okay. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you put your hand down. Your name again?
Anthony Lewis.
All right, you understand it's a withhold credit time served in court costs. Is that your understanding?
So it's not on my record as in trespass?
Well, there will be no conviction on your record for trespass, but you'll have a withhold of adjudication and a plea on your record. It just depends on, people ask that question all the time, and there's so many different ways to ask that question and answer that question that I don't feel comfortable giving you a blanket statement that it won't be on your record.
Right. That's fine.
Okay, you still want to go forward?
Mhm.
All right. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. Do you understand?
Yes.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that? Guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Accept your no contest plea, withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days of credit for 2 days. Your cost, I'll give you 360 days to pay, and I'll take no action on the case that you're out on bond since you resolved this. I had originally doubled it, but I'll take no action on it.
So it's $500 bond on that one?
But well, he's already,
Oh, it's already-
but he's
oh,
already,
good.
so he'll
Oh,
get out of
okay.
jail.
So you're getting out of jail?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, and then sir, your name?
You're welcome.
Carlton Majors.
All right, so you're out on bond on one count of soliciting without a permit. You're here today on one count of soliciting without a permit in case number 20CO812AO. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Attorney?
You want a public defender? All right, I'll appoint the office of the public defender. I'll set your bond at $100. State, do you have an offer?
Offer adjudication, court cost, credit time served.
All right, if he wants to resolve them both together, I'll do that too for him.
Key to both of them today can be an adjudication and court cost. Yeah.
He would like to plea, Your Honor.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, and your name?
Dalton Majors.
All right. You heard what your attorney had to say. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you want to resolve both of your soliciting cases or just the one?
Both.
All right. In 20CO721AO, how do you plead? Guilty or no contest?
Guilty.
And in 20CO812AO, how do you plead? Guilty or no contest?
No contest.
I'll accept your no contest plea in each case. I'll adjudicate you guilty in each case. Your costs are reduced to a judgment in each case and credit time served in each case, okay?
Thank you.
30 days to appeal. Good luck.
All right, you too.
Your name?
Mary Hamilton.
What happened to Frank Solicito?
He bonded.
Bonded. And Clark Wasilenko.
Mental health.
All right, Wasilenko, 20MM 7191AO, 2 petty thefts. Temporarily appoint the public defender, reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, and I'll stay count 1 at 100 and reduce count 2 to 1. Or I'm sorry, stay count 1 at 500, reduce count 2 at 100. All right, Mary Hamilton, that's you, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Huh? Oh, all right. 19 CF 2934 out of county warrant on a violation of probation on a third conviction for prostitution. According to this, is out of Osceola County. Your bond on this is set at no bond. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you, and they'll get to work on it for you. Do you have any questions? All right, thank you. Your name, sir?
Marcus Sims.
All right, you're here on an out-of-county warrant on a violation of probation on a possession of drug paraphernalia out of Polk County. According to this, your warrant is, your bond is set at no bond. You're also here on another out-of-county warrant on a battery domestic violence out of Polk County. It's a failure to appear. According to that, your bond is set at $20,000. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, and what they'll do is they'll reach out to Polk County and see if they can work out something to get you out of here, okay? All right, thank you. Your name? Sir? Your name?
Matthew Martinson.
All right, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver and manufacture cannabis within 1,000 feet of a school, 20 CF 11909AO. Did you find the lawyer?
I did.
Who'd you find? You found her?
I'm not your lawyer, no.
I rolled you to today for you to, you said you wanted to try and get your lawyer to appear.
Correct.
So did you find a lawyer, contact a lawyer?
I spoke to a lawyer and he was supposed to be here today.
Who is it?
I personally don't know the name of his.
You don't know the name? Okay.
I don't.
We've been here since, been here for a couple hours. I haven't seen anyone.
Yes, I understand that.
All right, what do you want to do? Do you want to go forward with your hearings today, or do you want me to roll it one more time to tomorrow?
How bad does that look?
I can't. I laugh because I can't tell you. All right, you want me to appoint the public defender? Yes.
Please.
Yes. Okay. All right, I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. Your first case, 20 CF 11909AO, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon, and one count of manufacturing cannabis within 1,000 feet of a school. You're also here in, I reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause. You're also here in 20 MM 5607AO on a failure to appear on a petty theft charge. According to that, your bond's set at $750. State any input with regards to release on count 1 on the felony case?
No, I'll defer to the court, Your Honor.
All right, anything from the defense?
Your Honor, we just ask that you set monetary bond.
All right, on that count, I'll set it at $150 and I'll stay count 2.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you've gone now and you have the public defender.
Thank you.
All right, ma'am, your name?
Angela Pence.
All right, 2020 CF 11757AO. You're here on one count of trafficking in heroin greater than 4 but less than 14 grams, possession of heroin with intent to sell, trafficking in a controlled substance greater than 4 grams, possession of amphetamine, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams, possession of cocaine, possession of methamphetamine, possession of oxycodone, possession of drug paraphernalia. You were in the hospital, we rolled you to. You got out of the hospital. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay your bonds in this case. No contact with Oscar Garcia. He's a co-defendant, okay? All right, thank you.
What is my bond?
$50,000 on count 1, $150 on counts 2 through 10, and $100 on count 11.
So totaling.
$51,000 and some change, give or take. All right, sir, your name?
Victor Senatori.
All right, sir, you're here in 2020 CF 11905AO, one count of carjacking with a firearm. We did your initial appearance yesterday. I stayed your bond. I brought you back today because you're sitting in jail with no bond. And I just wanted to see if you found a lawyer, if you talked, I think your parents were here yesterday, was that right?
Yes, correct.
I don't know if you've talked to them or if they found a lawyer. I just don't want you sitting in here rotting away without anybody helping you trying to get out of jail.
No, I did. I talked with them. They told me at the moment we can't afford an attorney. So they told me.
Trying to get a public defender?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Good luck. All right, ma'am, your name?
Denise Jenkins.
All right, ma'am, you're out on bond in 19 CF 13376AO, burglary of a dwelling and a petty theft. You're here today in 20 CF 11941AO, burglary of a conveyance. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. You're also here in a violation of probation in 19 CF 8391AO. According to that, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender in that case as well. On your new case, I'll set your bond at $1,000.
Okay.
On the burglary of a conveyance, and on the burglary of a dwelling and the petty theft that you're out on, I'll revoke your release in that case, and I'll set a bond of $3,500 on count 1 and $300 on count 2.
Okay, thank you.
And then you're at no bond on the VOP.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, your name?
D'Angelo Austin.
All right, sir, you're here in 20 MO 1006, violation of state misdemeanors. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Represent myself.
You represent yourself? Okay. I'll set your bond at $100. State, do you have an offer?
Not on this one, Your Honor.
All right. You want to resolve your case today or you want to walk out of here with your $100 bond?
I want to resolve it today.
All right. Give me one quick second. It's a trespassing case. Is that, that's what it is?
I believe so.
All right, if you want to resolve it, it's adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and court costs. You want to accept that offer?
Yes, sir.
And a no return to that McDonald's. You can go to any other McDonald's in the world, as long as you're going to buy something. You can't go to that one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, and your name one more time?
D'Angelo Austin.
All right, if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. Do you understand?
Yes.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Guilty or no contest?
Guilty.
Accept your guilty plea, adjudicate your guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days. Your costs, I'll give you 360 days to pay, and there'll be a no return to the McDonald's at 2701 East Colonial Drive, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, 30 days to appeal. Good luck. And what happened to Gary Smith?
Mental health.
All right, we'll temporarily appoint 20 MO 1007 AO, reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender, and I'll set his bond at $100.
Could he have ROR, Your Honor?
He doesn't qualify for PTR or ROR. He's got 35, 45, 52, 58. He's got 58 priors, 12 failure to appear. His most recent failure to appear was just 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
And 5 times DOC.
Okay,
But I did reduce his bond.
okay.
Okay. Is that everybody, everything? All right. All right, good morning. Is Osceola ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. I'm Orange County Judge Adam McGinnis, begging appearance from the state
Brian Hartley from the state.
and from the public defender down in Osceola.
Kristen Cron for Public Defender's Office.
All right, and then Mr. Mills, who's your client? Kevin Diaz Velez. All right, sir, your name?
My name is Kevin Jose Diaz Velez.
All right, and then counsel, your name for the record? All right, sir, you were here in 1 count of battery domestic and 1 count of battery by strangulation domestic, I believe via arrest warrant. Is that correct? And according to this, your bond is set at no bond on each. This is 20 CF 2782. Any contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, ma'am, can you raise your right hand for me? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, and then your name?
My name is Ana
Alright.
Evora Canales.
All right, ma'am, the purpose of this hearing is to determine conditions of his release. Is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think I should consider in determining his conditions of release?
No, I'm not scared or anything like that. I feel like things got out of hand, but my husband is not really like that. He hasn't been like that with me ever, and I just want to work things out with him and get family counseling, which we already talked about doing that before. But I think that now we're ready to go forward with that, and I'm not scared to keep contact or anything like that.
Do you guys live together?
Yes.
Do you want him to come home or maintain a separate residence?
No, he can come home.
And you want to have contact with him?
Yes.
Are you in fear for your safety?
No.
If anything like this were to happen, would you feel comfortable calling 911?
Yeah.
All right. State, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for her? All right. State, any input with regards to release?
State would just ask for no hostile contact, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Just a monetary bond, Your Honor.
All right, we'll set count 1 at $100 and count 2 at $1,500. No hostile contact. No hostile contact means no verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, anything of that nature. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here, ma'am. Courtney Beal. All right, ma'am, your name?
Courtney Beal.
All right, you are here in 1 count of battery domestic, and you're also here in, is it two different battery cases? Or is it just one? She just has one battery charge, correct?
I just show on your honor.
Okay, all right. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender, any contact with the alleged victim? No? All right, any input from the state?
Defer to the court, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Your honor, we just ask that she be allowed to go back to the residence if they live together to get her stuff and to set a monetary bond in this case.
All right. All right, I'll set her bond at $500. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You can return once with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve any of your belongings. Thank you. Anderson Dury. Where do you want me to put these? Right here? All right, your name? Your name, sir?
Anderson, Dwayne.
All right, you're here on one count of battery by strangulation, both domestic. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. Appoint the public defender. I have no contact with the victim. Any input from the state?
Defer to the court, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, we just ask that he be allowed to return to the residence one time with law enforcement and a monetary bond.
All right. I'll set count one at $100, count two at $2,000. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You can return once with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings.
Yes, sir.
Jose Gonzalez, yes, I'm sorry? Jose Gonzalez Mas. Your name, sir? All right, sir, you're here on two cases. The first one is a grand theft auto. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. You're also here on a violation of probation in 19312. Believe you're on probation. Not sure. What's he on probation for?
Your Honor, it's 19 CF 312.
Yeah. All right. On your new case, review the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender, and I'll set your bond at $2,000. And on your violation of probation, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender on that case as well for you.
Yes, sir.
Can we verify the case number? Because I heard him say a different case number. I feel.
What was the Osceola probation case number?
19 CF 312.
312. All right, Sarah Mack. Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, ma'am, your name?
Sarah Mack.
All right, you're here on one count of petty theft. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. Set your bond at $250.
Is there any way I can be on the board?
Well, I'm looking at your sheet here, and there's some issues with regards to community ties. Plus, you also have outstanding warrants, and you don't qualify for pretrial release, so I'm not inclined to ROR you.
Okay.
William Ortiz Sabalos. All right, sir, your name?
William Ortiz Sabalos.
All right, sir. It looks like you're here in 20 CF 2258AO on a violation of pretrial release on a domestic violence case. According to this, your bond is set at no bond, and has the PD been appointed on your case already?
Your Honor, I believe we're appointed on his underlying case that he violated the PTR on. We would be asking also if Your Honor would set a monetary bond in this case.
Okay. All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender on this case. It looks like on that case that he's out on PTR. He's got pretrial 1216. With regards to his new case, the violation, any input from the state?
Defer to the court, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And then does he also have, so that's the battery on a law enforcement officer, review that affidavit. I'll set his bond at $2,500 on that. On the case that he's out on bond, the 2020 CF 2258, I'm going to revoke his release, let the judge assign to that, determine what a reasonable bond is.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then he also has the sorry, go on.
Okay, so are they gonna give it a new case number? Because the way it was looking on our end, it had the same case number as the other bond case.
Well, I think his new case is a battery on a Leo.
But you could be coming as a new charge. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think they should charge it.
I said kid, but now I feel like.
Yeah, they did it as a new charge.
So does he have 2 new charges and the?
We have to verify with RPO because the way they wrote this warrant up.
I
That's the
know.
old case number.
It's good, right?
All right.
But I know here, we usually give it a new case.
All right, so Osceola, the clerk and I have a little bit of confusion.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, how many new charges does he have? Does he have a new charge of battery on a Leo and a new charge of violation of PTR? Or is he just here on a new charge of Bat Leo, and by virtue of that new charge of Bat Leo, he's violated his PTR?
I believe the cases are together.
Well, my affidavit only has 1 count. It looks like, the way the paperwork has come in, it looks like there's 2 new separate cases. One being the charge of violation of PTR conditions, and one being the battery on a Leo. But then the case number on the violation of the PTR is the old case number for the case that he's out on PTR. So when I see 2 charging affidavits, I think 2 new cases. But when I see the one has the same case number as the underlying, then I think you're almost asking me for an on-view violation of PTR. Is that
They
kind of
came
what?
in with conditions and everything, so ran the fire on.
No, Your Honor, because he got the new law violation of the battery on the Leo, it was a violation of his PTR conditions.
Okay, so there's two charges: violation of PTR and the battery case.
Right, and I show the affidavits have the same case number for both.
And what is that case number?
201091-300.
Yeah, we have something else. You know, it's CF 2258. Yeah. Yeah, see, ours lists the 2258 case. All right, so what is that case number then for the violation of PTR release?
That was off the affidavit, what they had listed on the affidavit from the sheriff's office. I have for the PTR 20 CF 2258. And on the battery on a Leo, there's no case number, so that's a new law.
Okay, well, our paperwork,
So I'm going to leave the out on line, set it at none here, and then say this,
yeah,
and then leave all the conditions that they have listed on the warrant.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna set a bond on the on the battery case, and then on the 20 CF 2258 is a no bond.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Johan Quinones Serrano. Your name, sir?
Johan Quinones Serrano.
All right, so you're here on 1 count of battery. I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. I have victim contacted. Victim does not want contact or return. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, we ask that he be allowed to return together any belongings from the residence.
All right, I'll set your bond at $500. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You can return 1 time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings. Demetrius Sewell.
Your Honor, he went back to his cell.
All right, we'll waive his appearance, appoint the PD. He is here on 1 count of domestic battery by strangulation, aggravated battery on a disabled person or causing disability, resisting arrest without violence, robbery, sudden snatching, unarmed, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. and reviewed that affidavit, temporarily appointed the public defender. Any input from the state with regards to release?
We'll defer to the court, Your Honor.
All right. Do we have any victim contact?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, we would just be asking for a monetary bond in this case.
All right. On count 4, the robbery by sudden snatching, I'll set his bond at $2,500. Count 1, $150. Count 2, $150. Count 3, $100. And count 5, $150. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Cassine Taylor.
It was in the affidavit.
For what?
The 50 that says QL.
All right, your name, sir?
Cassine Taylor.
All right, sir, you're here on a grand theft auto charge. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. You're also here on one count of failure to obey a law enforcement officer's order to stop and operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. I reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. On your second case, I'll stay your bond on count 1 at $2,500. Count 2, I'll reduce to $100. And on your new case of the grand theft auto, I'll stay your bond at $1,000.
Thank you, sir. Would I be able to pre-trial release? Because I could pay all my fines. I have 2 jobs. I could pay everything back up. I just need to be released. I'm fending for myself, so I don't have nobody else.
According to the okay, he does qualify for PTR.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, we'll give him PTR.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
God bless.
All right, Jordan Williams. Your name?
Jordan Williams.
All right, sir, you were here in one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and one count of battery. Domestic, reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. I have no contact with the victim, no number provided. Any input from the state?
They would ask for no contact, separate residences.
Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, we asked that he be allowed to return one time to gather his belongings and a monetary bond.
All right. I'll set your bond at $1,500 on count 1, $100 on count 2. No contact with the alleged victim. No return to the scene. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. All right, I have one more individual. I'm sorry?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I have one more individual in Osceola left. Is that correct?
That's what I show Your Honor.
Is there one left?
Interpreter.
Right.
Yes, and you will need the interpreter.
Okay, but there's no one else, just the one interpreter case left?
Just the one left.
Okay. And then we'll go straight into our Spanish for Orange. Are we ready for that or no?
Romero. Good morning, this is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line, not sworn in yet, Your Honor.
All right, if you could raise your right hand to be sworn in. Will you translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your abilities, so help you God?
Yes, I do. Dalia Romero, state certified Spanish interpreter.
All right, and this is an Osceola County case. I don't have a case number. If you could interpret everything from this point. Carlos Limas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, sir. You were here on one count of battery domestic and one count of assault.
Señor Lima, usted está aquí por un caso de agresión y un caso de amenaza de agresión.
I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, and will appoint the public defender.
Yo he repasado la affidavit acusatoria y hay causas que respaldan la acusación y se le está designando un defensor público.
I have that we were unable to contact the victim. Is that correct?
Aquí tengo que no nos pudimos comunicar con la víctima, cierto, señoría.
All right. Any input from the state?
¿Algo que la fiscal quiera decir?
No. Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, we just asked that he be allowed to return his belongings and a monetary bond.
Su señoría, estamos pidiendo que se le permita regresar a recoger sus artículos personales y que se le dé una fianza.
All right, sir, I will set your bond at $500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2.
Señor, su fianza va a ser $500 en la primera causa y $100 en la segunda causa.
No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons.
Señor, no se le permite tener ningún tipo de contacto con la víctima, no puede regresar al lugar de los hechos, tiene que mantenerse viviendo separado de la víctima y no puede poseer ningún tipo de cuchillos, pistolas o ningún tipo de armas.
You can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings.
Solamente puede regresar en una sola ocasión acompañado de la policía para retirar sus artículos personales.
All right, thank you.
Gracias.
All right, that's everybody from Osceola.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
Madam Interpreter, my skills with the technology is lacking, so I'm going to hang up on you and call you right back.
No problem.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then can I get appearance from the public defender here?
Kinsey Johnston with the Public Defender's Office.
And we're ready with our Spanish? Okay.
Just so you know that, Your Honor, victims are told at 10:30, so I don't know if they'll be here
Oh,
quite yet, but I know we have a couple Spanish move-up DVs, but
all right, let's hang tight then for 10 minutes. Maxwell? Oh. Okay. I tell the interpreter.
I mean, we can start with the, if it's not too
Good
much.
morning
we
again.
can
This is
move the
Talia
felony.
Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line.
Hey, the domestic violence victims aren't noticed to be here until 10:30, so I'm gonna give you a call back in about 10 minutes.
Okay,
All
no
right.
problem, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
You want to start with the move up? Just do like the first one.
We can hang tight or we can do
The first
the other
four.
ones, it's whatever works for you guys.
The first four is just felonies.
We can keep it simple as I've already made it, which is still probably too complicated. I mean, it's so simple that the PD's just watching her phone right now. She's not even listening.
What?
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
what do you want to start with?
Well, we can either hang tight for 10 minutes and then start, or we can do our move-ups that are non-DV.
The English-speaking move-ups?
I'm sorry?
The English-speaking move-ups?
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
We'll just wait.
I mean, we can wait. We're down to 6 minutes. So let's just,
Wait.
yeah.
Okay.
Eat a donut, take a sip of your drink, play on your phone like the PD.
Oh my
in open court.
gosh. You said 10-minute break.
Never said 10 minute break.